Wait. Hold on here. Is this the barbershop? Is this the barbershop?
Yes, shop.
This is the barbershop.
Okay.
This ain't nothing but healthy conversation. It ain't nobody. Healthy conversation. It ain't nobody. Conversation. It ain't nobody else. This ain't nothing but it. This ain't nothing but it. Healthy conversation. Healthy conversation. It ain't nobody else. Healthy conversation. Healthy conversation. All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, are we looking good? We looking good. I like this. Okay, so the mics, if y'all listening, if y'all can hear us, tap in and let us know y'all can hear us. We're doing something a little bit different with the microphones because we have extra guests. So we're gonna sound a little echoed in the background. We're gonna sound a little, like we're a little far away from the mic. So if you can hear us, let us know you can hear us. Just let us know you can hear us in the comments. And today's topic is the OGs versus the YNs. And as y'all can see, we got some young fellas in here, man. And we got my brother, Mr. Marlon West, in here, man. We're gonna have this conversation. It's gonna be a real good conversation, real good topic, man. We bridging the gaps. What we trying to do here is understand the young men and get the young men to understand the OGs. So this is gonna be good. I'm really excited about this. As y'all can see, I don't do all the laughing and jumping up and down and all that stuff, but I really appreciate y'all fellas coming on through. So if y'all can do us a favor, man.
Hold on, before y'all get started on it, because from where I'm hearing it, it still sounds far. So I'm gonna need y'all to speak loud and clear when you're getting your points across. Still the air is in there because we got the lapel mics, but I need y'all to speak loud and clear when y'all speaking.
Now you guys got mics in those little cups right there next to those little things look like feathers. Yeah. Those are mics.
Just leave it there, but speak up so that we can hear you. You might have to lean over a little bit when you talk. Just kind of lean over, but talk. Face the camera. But yeah. So what I want y'all to do, man, is everybody give their name, starting with you. Give your first name, last name, but just give your first name. You don't have to give your last name, but tell people where you're from and why you're here in Dallas.
My name is David. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm here in Dallas because I moved about 7th grade to play sports, and now I'm at a car dealership, Sandpack Ford, and I want to see where this goes.
All right.
Thank you. Welcome, Dave.
My name is Greg. I'm originally from Chicago. I moved down here in 6th grade with my mom. She got a job, and I'm currently in dental school, getting ready to finish.
My name is Rashad. I was born and raised in Dallas, so that's what brought me here. Then I do pest control.
All right.
My name is Malik. I was born in Africa. I'm 18 years old. Just graduated high school. Been in DFW for around 5 years. Played high school football, and I'm currently getting ready to graduate facility maintenance in August.
All right. Good stuff.
My name Raekwon. I'm from Waco, Texas. I came to Dallas to be an HVAC technician at Forge now. That's the school I'm going to.
Woo-hoo.
Okay, good stuff.
That's what's up. Well, welcome to Barbershop Talk with Jeff and Fre.
Yeah.
Mr. West,
Yes.
we ain't gonna forget you.
Gotcha. My name is Marlon. Born and raised in Dallas, grew up in Fort Worth. Went
Stop
to
six, he from Stop Six.
baby. Okay, I didn't want to throw that at you. Just Stop 6, shout out. Went to home state, graduated with a bachelor's in business management. Currently work for a Fortune 100 company, General Dynamics, as an executive director of business development strategy. I've been with them for 31 years. I enjoy, as a hobby, playing golf, and my real passion is God. And my second real passion is the boys that I mentor. And my third real passion is where I go to help our black men like see what their identity looks like and how they can overcome these challenges. Because I didn't have it, and I thank God every day to where He has landed me. And I don't know how I got there, but I know that by His grace and what He's telling me, that I got to give back. Okay, and we're going to peel that down a little bit more about what are our black men doing to help our young youth. Okay, right? And so I don't want to go into all the spoils of the topics, but yeah, that's me, and I'm glad to be here.
So Marlon, this topic comes from us having a conversation with these same young men a couple weeks ago, and we put this together because this is what we need. And these young men, having these conversations with these young men, and I have had the opportunity, along with Jeff and Fre, to have the opportunity to talk to some of these young men, and these are some pretty smart young men. Mm-hmm. So they're also they structured
vertical
structured young men.
Spot on.
Yeah, but they're, in no disrespect to them, they're also ignorant.
Y'all ain't saying
it's no disrespect for them, because everybody needs some wisdom. See, this is how I grew up. This is how I came up amongst the old heads in the barbershop and in the street. Just listen to the old head. My pops, my uncle, and so this is how I grew up, and this is why I am the way I am, and Fre as well, Wes as well. So now we're doing what Wes, I call him Wes, don't. But this is what we do, and this is what we're supposed to be doing, teaching the young men how to be young men. So I'm gonna because Wes is the spearhead of this, we all jumped on board and was with it. So I'm gonna let you.
Okay, I drive it.
Drive that car, bro.
Okay, so what I want to say to you guys, like I said earlier, this is an open forum. Okay, we got some topics. Spit one out at you. Let you guys speak from your heart, and let's see if we can really peel this thing back. Because the goal of today is to really see where are our black men today versus when we were in y'all shoes. Okay, has society gotten better? Do we understand politics better? Are we connected to politics? Are we as eligible voters? Are we voting? What do we think about the current presidency? Social media, the big one, and these guys have been in my small group. Pornography. How does pornography consume you? Okay.
It's not funny.
Right. And it's an issue. It's an issue. And what I've learned, and the way I raise my kids, and what I mentor in my group, is you two heard this other. You got to talk about the hard, right things, and not the easy, wrong things. Even as parents, we dodge those. We kind of like the elephant in the room, or the ostrich that sticks his head in the sand. We don't want to address it. And if we don't, as wise men, black men that are successful, that come up that have seen it, as parents, then what are your choices? What are your options? Right here, social media, right? And there are so many avenues on social media that will tell you the negative, okay? Right? When I grew up in church, my grandmother said, this is, and that's how it's been. Now y'all can go to social media and GPT chat and Google, is God real? And there are so many platforms out there that would just tell you that God didn't create Earth. That is trying to pull us. Exactly. Yeah, switch it up. Okay.
Yeah.
So my first topic and my first question that I want to ask you guys is, when you look at this, is kind of like in the media technology influence category. As heroes and icons, okay, like who do you consider as an icon, or as a hero, or as someone that you model? Okay, and I'll tell you why that question is asked. Once I'll let you guys go around, and then we'll come back and we may pick up you guys to elaborate. Okay, so David, I'll start with you. If you were to say you had a hero or a model or somebody that you emulate, whether it's a professional athlete, whether it's a politician, whether it's an investment maker, or whether it's the guy that does the Tesla cars. I mean,
I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I'll say Chief Keef. Chief Keef is a rapper, but don't get me wrong, he's somebody who's smart.
Okay.
He did what he had to do in a very sensitive moment to move away from where he come from, to change his situation and better his future and stay alive.
Awesome.
He's from a very hard place in Chicago, and I personally love his story because it relates to me. I moved away at such a young age, not knowing what it's gonna come with, and I moved again, not knowing what it's gonna come with, and I'm satisfied with the outcome. So, and he loves cars, so it's like we really relate to each other. He ain't all about the killer, bang, bang nowadays. He's a normal guy. Likes cars, likes money, likes the things that he likes, similar to myself.
Gotcha. Appreciate you. Okay. All right, my man. What do you got? If you were to pick an icon, a hero, just in any category, somebody that influences you, motivates you, that said, this is why I want to get up, and this is why I want to get in the HVAC, industry. Like, what drives you? Who is there? What influence would you say there is?
Probably my mom.
Your mom? Okay. Love it.
Yeah,
okay.
my mom.
Okay.
I watch her drive hard.
Okay.
So it just makes me want to get up. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And do you have any other siblings?
Yeah, I got a little sister. She 14. I got a little brother. He's 7.
So you the next. You man up. You next man up.
Yeah.
Okay. Is your dad around? Is he in your life? Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. Thanks for sharing. What you got, man?
I'll probably say my dad.
Your dad. Okay.
My dad's somebody who self-centered around God and really helped me grow up around it. So seeing all the stuff that happened through his life, like at 20 years old he lost his dad, and at 10 years old he lost his mom. So being an orphan and taking care of 6 siblings in Africa, and then coming along and having me, well, my sister, then me, but then always being there to support us. I never saw him have a bad day, and even if he did have a bad day, he wouldn't show it. He'd always have.
Okay, and let me tell you something. You're fortunate. Okay, you were in the 3 percentile of black men where their fathers were still and have been prevalent and relevant in their lives from cradle to grave. Okay, right, and that's a blessing. Okay, right. So yeah, I like that. Now I'm gonna put you on the spot just because your dad, you ain't gotta pick him.
No.
But okay. But I want you to really just again, this is about just being open and honest. Like what drives you, man? What gets you up? Who motivates you? Who gives you that this is what I want to do.
Like you said, it's gonna be that man right there. My pops right there.
Okay. I was trying to talk you out of it, but okay.
That's just the honest truth. Like listening to his stories that he told me as a kid, not even just his stories, just witnessing it with my own too, seeing how all the things that he went through, how quick he done fell and bounced back up. That's my role model right here.
Good. Again, you blessed. Okay. And here's the beauty about this small panel. Within this small panel, okay, I'd say we are batting 60% of young African black men that have male figures that in their lives have been influential into how they grew up as young men. Okay, Because one of our biggest fallacy, and I grew up in it. I didn't know my dad. My dad tried to show up who he was when I was a freshman in college because he read the paper and he thought, oh, my son will go NFL, now he will show up. And I'm like, fool, I don't know who you are. Where were you at 18 years ago? Now you want to show up and try to claim me? And like, come on, man, Mom, you never gave my mom child support. My mom raised me. My mom taught me how to be a man. Okay? Right? And that's a flaw.
Yeah.
Right? That is a flaw in our society. And what we're going to peel back to the back end of this question is you. And we talk about this. And you go through your lives and you will meet your person and you will multiply. Okay? Meaning you'll meet a woman, you get a friend, hopefully it's your wife, hopefully it's intentional, right? And you will stay there embedded in that kid's life. Okay? Right? Right? Okay. So we're gonna come back to that a little bit more. Greg, what you got?
I probably would say my dad, my stepdad, and probably Floyd Mayweather.
Okay. Okay, pick me one. Give me one of them.
Probably say my stepdad.
Okay.
Cause you know, my father's been in my life my entire life. I know my father is. I love my father to death. But my father hasn't been able to give me the knowledge, you know, that my stepfather's been able to give me. You know, my father, I always like to say my father taught me how to be a man. My stepfather taught me how to be a businessman. And you know, I really kind of pride myself on competing with my stepdad because I see that he was able to get everything he wanted and more without, you know, going to college and, you know, being able to, you know, be God blessed and successful and do what he does. And, you know, I grew up playing sports, you know, very competitive, so I kind of take it as a challenge to want to be better than him and go achieve my dreams and, you know.
Awesome. Good. Okay, guys, I appreciate your perspective, your honesty. And here's the thing. We could spend all night on this topic or have all night. So I'm going to put a little summary to it, and then I'm going to let our other two wise men kind of like throw a little something at you if they got any questions. So here's the one thing I would tell you, okay, is as black men, okay, we have to understand what our challenges will be, what they are, and how we have to press forward, okay, and we have to come together. What I see a lot is us working against one another, okay, right, instead of coming together. And when I look at the other races, they unite, we divide, because we have this ego and the selfish, and we you know, we want to be the top dog.
Yeah, that's
okay?
what it is.
Right, and that's not a good thing. Okay, we've got to start putting arms around each other as brothers and say, man, I got nothing. Don't make this a racial thing. It don't mean you go look at the next race and say, bro, you ain't my color, so I can't help you. That's a whole different topic. But that's not what I'm talking about. Okay, but I'm talking before you can rub shoulders and connect with the other race, you got to get your stuff together with your current race and your own race. Okay. Those of you that have had your father figures in your life that have driven you, been there, you're blessed. Those of us, okay, that did not, and this is the biggest thing. If God came down to me and said, Marlon, if I give you one wish, what would that wish be? Now I'll try to outsmart God. I say I want 3 more wishes, okay, but He probably won't give it to me. But if I had to just spend that one wish, is that I would wish that women are not in a position to where they're trying to raise boys to be men.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, especially African American. And I'm not knocking any other race because they all go through it. But man, there is just something about, okay, the black African American man. We are considered a threat. Okay, right? And there's a reason for it. Okay, there's a reason for it. Right? God gave us some gifts, man. God gave us some gifts.
Strong gifts.
Gifts. You gotta look at them, right? If you go back and look at the NFL, it was purely white.
Now it's
Look at the
purely
NFL
black.
today. It's predominantly black. Not only just in the wide receivers and the running backs,
Quarterback.
the linemen, coaches, linebackers. You go look at basketball, nine-man game. Look at it today, okay? Look at golf, okay? Look at baseball, Okay, it's evolving. We are unique individuals. Right? We just gotta get out there, right? So, again, okay, we can talk about this topic all night. We got some other good stuff I want to go on. Appreciate you guys sharing that. So I'm gonna just kind of give you guys a quick second, then I'm gonna come back to these guys. Is there anything else you guys want to just add or say or ask a question on that topic of what we just talked about? Who influences heroes?
Who are y'all heroes growing up?
Okay. Which one?
Yeah, my uncles.
Yeah.
My uncles, and they would just stand up dudes. And around the time when, whatever the time was, it was like there's a pond and there's a river. Let me explain it to you. In a pond, fish are still. In a river, they move with the current. You can't put a pond fish in the river. It's not gonna survive. So my uncles were able to move with the current.
Right.
And I just grew up watching two twins go with the current and being able to see some things that I shouldn't have seen young. Maybe say, okay, let me tell you this, a lot of the people that I learned from did something wrong. So what I did was break the generational curse. And I went, instead of following that, I said it gotta be a better way than what they were doing. So I went my own way. So their negative teachings flipped the positive for me.
Yeah.
So you learned from the bad.
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay.
I learned, there it is. I learned from the bad, and turn those positives into negatives.
Move that
That's a great
thing
thing.
on the side there and slide back.
So, fortunately and unfortunately, my hero came late in my life. I grew up in a pretty tough environment, pretty tough era, very little guidance, and my hero today, when I say hero, is the guy that influenced me, that said all things were possible. Right? It would be in 2009 when President Obama, Barack Obama was elected as the first black African American president. Okay, that was huge. It was huge. Okay, when I tell you barriers were breaking, we talked about basketball and football, that's one thing. You got the music, that's one thing. You got the business, one thing. The chief commanding officer of the United States of America, African American, not only did he do one term, he did 2 terms. Not only in those 2 terms, he's one of the few presidents that kept his nose clean. Right? You look at Trump, you look at Bush, you look at
Biden,
Bill Clinton, and they all had drama in their White House, from chicks and sex to cocaine. I mean, Bush son, they found cocaine in the White House under Bush term. Okay, and although they tried to throw shade on him about his citizenship and all that, they had nothing, because that dude was pretty squeaky clean. He was legit. And I read one of his books where he said, a lot of people don't know the sacrifice I made to my family, because I knew that I had to give everything I had to America. Okay? And I knew that I was on a high platform and I was being critiqued and judged in everything I did. So I had to thank God I married a strong black woman. Michelle Obama gave her a complete promise, okay, that understood what her husband was going to. And as the chief and commanding officer of the United States, the first black African American president. And you weren't talking about getting goosebumps. Actually, it gives me goosebumps. Okay? All right? Seriously.
I can see
right?
them on your arms.
I can see them on your arms right now.
I'm telling you, and it's like, I got all the athletes and the singers and the businessmen and this and that. Man, that's moving the meter. Okay? And that's what I challenge you guys. Okay? Move the meter. Move the mark in the sand. Okay? Be powerful. Be different. Be creative. Okay? All right? So that's my hero.
Well, my hero is my dad. My dad is he's 82 right now, and he's still moving and shaking.
It's a blessing.
You know, and he's taught me a lot. I mean, every everything I've been through in my life, I had to overcome a lot, and I wouldn't say, because I don't know, I wouldn't say that if it weren't for my dad, I wouldn't have been able to overcome. But I will say that the tools and the things that were given to me by him helped me be able to overcome. The standing up and being a man, you know, when you're on your face, I watched this man, you know, struggle and have to take care of me and my brother and go through job after job after job and dealing with relationship issues and just overcome stuff. I don't want to say too much because my mom on here, she get kind of jealous. Yeah. But I love you too, Mom. You know I love you. But yeah, that's my dude. My dad is my guy. I can call my dad today and have a conversation with him, and he's not on anybody's side. He don't pick a side.
Yes, sir.
He picks God over his children. And if we're wrong, we're wrong. When we're right, we're right. And we don't I've had one argument with my dad all my life, and he kicked me out. Told me, you're on your own, boy. And I never looked back. But nevertheless, I mean, he went through the same thing when he was young.
Yes, sir.
So it was, he sent it, he got it, he gave it to me, I got it, I give it to my boys. And it's that thing. So I understand where you're coming from. Watching your dad do something, do things is phenomenal. You get an opportunity to learn from somebody that made the mistakes so that you don't have to make the mistakes.
Yes, sir.
And I did. Now I ain't gonna lie. I probably made more mistakes than he did. But you being able to bounce back. And my number one thing I say, the difference between a boy and a man is responsibility.
Yes, sir.
So y'all don't have no responsibility. Y'all don't. When y'all start paying bills, you got responsibility. When you start paying bills, it's a whole nother thing.
It's a whole nother ballgame.
And then when you start taking care of children, it's a whole nother thing. And you can't decide that you're gonna walk away, walk away from. And a lot of men do. A lot of men have.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Woo. You can't
peel that one down.
Yeah. You can't pick up and decide that you're gonna walk away after you got this woman pregnant. Mm-hmm. You ain't supposed to do that. It's not what's supposed to be done.
But it's still done.
But it's still done. Now there are other circumstances where the woman decides that she just don't want to do this no more. And really she makes the choice, but she don't really have any say so. Because we still have to stand up and be men.
Yeah. She ain't got to do you, but she cannot deprive that man from being part of his child's life.
Yeah.
Period. Okay. And that's that's a good topic. Whew, that's a good statement. I love that. I love that. Real quick, so we just got a newcomer. Introduce yourself. Tell us your name, where you're from, age, and we'll go from there, and then we'll catch up on the conversation.
I'm Tay, I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana, and I'm 22.
Okay. What brings you to the Dallas area, Tay?
I've been here since 4th grade.
Since 4th grade? Okay. Yeah, okay. Your family moved here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Just kind of catch you up. So, are you the only child? You have siblings, or is your dad? You live with your dad still? Is he still talk to her? Like, what's?
Oh nah, he passed away when I was born.
Okay. Sorry to hear that. Okay. Cool.
Okay. Why I get these cameras straight. We don't want to block the young man out.
Okay. And before we go any further, man, let's throw some shout out to Funk, man. This is the Barber and Cigar Lounge. Appreciate you hosting this, man, and doing this. He's very consistent about it. When I first joined his club, and I came here one time through my fiance, she brought me here, and met Unc and saw the whole setup, and I joined right off the bat. Okay, so it's a really cool place to come. I really love getting you guys here so you can just see this and kind of, you know, where we can exchange conversation. Okay, so I appreciate you creating this environment for us.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So, okay. Okay, so before I go into my next topic, do you guys, I don't want to make this a one-sided conversation. Is there a particular topic that's on your mind that you would kind of like to throw across to us wise men and say, hey, you know, how did y'all handle this? How would you handle it today?
How did y'all handle fatherhood?
Huh?
You know,
okay.
You have a son,
Yep.
and he's right here.
Mm-hmm.
I know you have children, and you know, I obviously know you have children.
Okay.
How did y'all, from the start to where you are now, take on that responsibility and keep it going?
Okay.
You know, what was your mind frame when you first knew that you had to take on that responsibility, and what kept you going to be consistent in their life?
Okay, I'll kick it off. So as far as me, man, being the way I grew up and not having a father figure, my mom, I had 5 siblings, and from 5 different dads. I didn't know what relationships meant. Okay, when you're talking about being promiscuous and not committing, oh my God. Okay, and this is why I tell you what, man, when I step back and look at me and do self-reflection, which we talked about a lot in our small groups.
Yes, sir.
Self-reflection, what does that mean? It's looking back at where you come from and where you're at today, showing God grace. That's self-reflection. Sometimes I just bawl my head off because I can't believe that God brought me from that to where I'm at today. Okay, and I don't have kids running all over the planet. Okay, my 2 daughters were intentional. Right, they are 28 and 26. They're got them through college. I got one that's living in Hamburg, Germany, doing her thing. I got another one that George graduated from Georgia Tech, living in Atlanta. So I was intentional about it. Now, my first one, I didn't marry her mom. Okay, she was a fling, right? But I didn't run from my responsibility. Okay, right? And when she brought that to my attention, okay, I was upset about it. All right, but I told her, I said, look, this ain't gonna do with us. But if that's my child, I'm on it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I waited till that child was born. And here's the funny part: I took that child, and she finally got older, I took her to my mom. And said, Mom, you know, this is mine. My mom pulled that thing back. She said, boy, that's your child. She said, you can go do DNA all you want. That's your child. But I did the DNA anyhow, right? I just needed that confirmation. That would allow me then to go full speed, right? And then I had my second child out of marriage, very intentional, and I kept them together. I said every day. So I was very intentional, and what I learned from how I grew up is how not to be as a parent today, okay? And as a father with daughters, and I tell guys today that I even talk to and that have daughters, say, be intentional with your daughters, okay? My uncle tell you, he'll tell you, when I dated girls in high school and college, and I said, what's your name? Well, Rebecca, okay. Tell me about your family. Well, I just live with my mom, I got 2 sisters. Where's your daddy? I ain't got a daddy. No hanging fruit. No hanging fruit. Right. Because she didn't have that male figure. And let me tell you, that structure. Let me tell you something. Hey, that structure.
Yeah.
My daughters, I'll tell you, they high maintenance. Right? And they're good looking girls, and you go shoot at them, you gotta come with some game. You know why? Because I dated them intentionally. I went out with them, I set schedules with them. We wasn't going to Chick-fil-A.
You set the tone.
I set the tone. You dress up, I open the doors, I brought them flowers, I brought candy, I lived at nice restaurants, I lived in great homes, and y'all seen my cribs, I drove nice. So, and the reason I say all that is so when some joker try to come up and try to blow their mind with some bullshit, they're like, bro, my dad told me shit, well, what else you got? I need to know who you are biblically, okay? And that's what I taught them. You want someone that is biblical based. Okay? Because when you are vertical, everything else horizontal sorts itself out. Period. Okay? And so, to answer your question, the way I was able to stay, it was part of my dysfunctional upbringing. But then it was God in the middle saying, this is a trial for you, but it's a blessing. You just got to walk by faith and not by sight. Because when you get through this storm, oh, you're going to be good. You just got to trust. You just got to trust me. You got to do your part.
So you had faith and believe everything was going to work out.
I bring it all.
No matter
Absolutely.
what.
Absolutely. And that's why I joined the ministry. That's why you, Boris, and 11 other taking y'all in. And even today, after since y'all were in 8th grade, now you're grown men, and we still converse. Right?
Yes, sir.
Period. Right? It's called handing off the baton. Right? Right? One of the things that most black men do that are successful is selfish. They don't hand the baton off. They don't go out and spread the fruits and help other black men get to where they're at. Right? Because they always want to be the only one peacocking. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I got a question. So as black men in our generation, how do we get to the point where we want to be and pass the baton off?
Okay.
Because that's hard for us.
Okay, so let's hold that. Let's come back to that. You asked the initial question, and I kind of, something y'all got to shut me up because I can go all day. So I'm gonna give Unc and Lorraine to kind of go ahead to the original question about, how do we how do we do our family, how we keep it structural to where it is today. So.
Could I add on to that?
Okay.
How did you handle the times where you were down and you couldn't see God?
Down in what?
Down and you just couldn't see God. You saw no other way.
Yeah.
Like what about you too?
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a really good one.
Let me tell you, I'm not gonna give you the textbook answer. I'm gonna give you the real answer.
Keep it real, baby. Keep it real.
You say that you have faith
there you go.
in God,
That's it.
that's it. That's it. There's gonna be times when you fall. There's gonna be times when you stumble. There's gonna be times when you might slip up and actually question God. But if your faith is locked in, it's just those feelings that you feel negative toward God spiritually. It only lasts a quick second till you revert back to why you have faith in God. So in those times when you feel like you can't make it, in those times when you feel like it's rough and you don't know A to B, revert back to your faith in God, bro. That's what's going to sustain you through it all. And that's not the textbook answer. That's the real answer.
It's the real answer. I'm gonna answer all the both of those questions. Then we're gonna get to the third question. I'm gonna answer both of the questions. I was walking across the stage when my daughter was being born. I was getting ready to graduate from high school, man, and it didn't hit me until I got to the hospital that she was here, and my life changed. I went off to college, and I couldn't stay focused because I got this baby I got to take care of.
Yes, sir.
And I dropped out of college because I got this baby I got to take care of, and I got to do things, and I'm worried about responsibility. And sometimes it can get me to the point, it had gotten me to the point where I would do anything. So when I dropped out of college, I went to Florida and was doing anything to be able to send money back. And then I had to grab myself because I stumbled. I didn't fall on my face, but I stumbled. And I had to catch myself and say, no, this is not what I do. I'm a football player. So I got some workouts and was able to get some tryouts and get to the point where I can make some money. So I went to Canada, and in that thing, when you have the money, you're okay.
Yes, sir.
When you don't have the money to handle your responsibilities, it's a bit of a struggle, but it's a panic. Because you create the panic yourself in not when you step outside of that faith.
Yes, sir.
You create that panic, and so I stepped outside of the faith, and I started doing my own thing, and so I ended up in prison.
Yes, sir.
And so you gotta keep that faith. You gotta keep, because if you don't keep that faith, if you don't have that understanding of have an understanding of what the faith is, and believe that walking out on faith is walking out on faith. If you don't understand that, that's a whole nother conversation. We can talk about that. But being able to, and I grew up in the church, so I knew what the faith was about and what having faith in God was about, and following God and not following myself.
But at this point, you shied away from it.
Yeah, I shied away from it, and I shied away from it and went to prison. I shied away from it and lost my football career. You know, I shied away from it and got 3 kids out of wedlock. You know, so I mean, I'm just being honest. And so when you shy away from it, the biggest thing is coming back. It's coming back and listening. Okay, my dad said, son, you've done it on your own for so long. Just give God a chance again. Let God have it. So I let God have it. And so I don't make those mistakes anymore. But when it comes to my kids, I raised my son. I was in my daughter's life, but I have a third son, a third child, my oldest son. I just met 10 years ago, and I can't get a grip on that boy for nothing. You know, and those things are a part of being irresponsible and just out here doing stuff. You those things, when you just out here doing stuff, it's that karma. I don't want to call him a karma kid because I knew what I was doing.
Yes, sir.
You know, but he's a karma kid. It's just from being out here doing willy-nilly, doing what you're doing, and he came and found me on Facebook. Said, my mama said you was my dad. And I knew about him. I knew that she had a kid, but I didn't know that it was mine. So we did the DNA. He's my son. You look at him, he's my son. But because I was irresponsible, I didn't get an opportunity to raise him. He don't do none of the shit that I do. The only thing he and I got in common is that we both 6'6", and we both cut hair. That's it.
All right. Let me. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Right.
This is getting interesting. Go ahead.
It is.
Yeah.
Really, you see us sitting there, right?
Yes, sir.
All of us have been through something.
Yeah, we all been through
So
something.
each one of us can literally say we've lived life. At the age y'all are, why are y'all stressing? I want to know from each one of you. Give me an example on why you feel like where life is for you right now, with no major responsibilities. How old are you?
I'm 21 years old.
21. How old are you?
21.
How old are you?
28.
How old are you?
18.
How old are you? 22. Really haven't had a chance to just break ground in life at all. So let me ask you individually. It's about y'all. So each one of y'all tell me briefly. I have to go into a long drawn story. Why are you stressed? Why do you feel like at your age the world is just on your shoulders?
How about what are you stressing about?
What are you stressing about? There it is.
Something individually that you feel like you're stressing about.
Me personally, I would say
Take
because
off.
I want to be successful. You know, I want to be able to help my sisters and my grandmother and my dad. But there's so many obstacles that I know I'm going to have to face on the way there that it discourages me sometimes. You know, women is a big thing, whether people want to admit it or not.
Yeah.
You know, we put on these clothes, we do everything. It's for the girls. I ain't doing it for no man.
Right.
So I'm doing it for the girls. So it's all those different things. You got social media. You know, I can find anything. I can find some fine shit on social media.
Right.
But if I go out here in public, I might find something that's for me. But I didn't look at it like, oh, I want that. You know what I'm saying? There's certain obstacles when you start working as a young man and you start to see like, not everybody is at the mental mind frame you think they is just because of their age.
Right.
You know, and that's a struggle. They look at us like, you know, bro, you're young, plus you're black. You know, look at you. You know what I'm saying? You got to step it up.
Yeah.
So I think the struggle I have is one to be so successful, but it's hard. You know, it's so hard. Being as ignorant as I am today,
Right.
I don't have enough knowledge to beat those odds just yet.
Let me ask you.
I'm gonna tell you this.
I don't.
I appreciate your transparency because there's so many young men your age
That won't admit it.
That won't admit it. There's some grown men out here shaking
That
their
won't
finger.
admit it.
That won't sit where you're sitting at, looking at this camera with people viewing, and
admit
say,
it.
"Hey, I'm ignorant."
Because I'm not
to
scared
some
of
things.
it. I want it so
appreciate
bad.
your
It's like I just want to breathe.
There
but
you go.
There's such a long process and so much you got to change
Walk it.
within. And it's hard.
It's a
You know,
daily
when I
walk.
walk out this door right now, it's up to me to change and take what y'all
Yes,
taught
sir.
me and use it.
So
But it's
why do
going
you-
to be hard to remember and stand on those things.
So why do you feel like you said your sister, your family, you want to be successful for your family?
I want them to shine just like I'm shining.
Okay, so
Friends
I'm
included.
gonna revert to something that I heard that was so meaningful to me because it's kind of how I lived. Hall of Fame. Sterling Sharp just went to the Hall of Fame. If you don't know who Sterling Sharp is, he was my receiver mentor.
Yes, sir.
He was the guy that I built my football game at. But he was also Shannon Sharp's brother. And he gave a speech about performing for an audience of one.
Mm-hmm.
Now that can go a lot of different ways, but his audience of one was his brother.
Okay.
So whatever he did for his brother. But he wanted to shine himself because of his brother, because he wanted his brother to know that it can be done. So in essence, him shining and putting in the work ethic was that I have to do it myself. I have to worry about me first.
Right.
So I'm telling you, you got to worry about you first. See, because
Yeah.
wanting
It's
to
hard.
No,
It's hard.
No.
I'm gonna
Get
just
you
keep
first.
it real. That's hard.
I mean, I understand it's hard,
Get
but
you first,
listen to
bro.
what he's saying. Get
So,
you first.
Yeah, get you first.
If your temple ain't right, you can't give nobody else nothing, bro.
Right.
I agree with you.
So for you, focus on you. Like bro said, get you right. Once you get right, it's an umbrella, bro. It just starts trickling down from your sister to your granny. Then your granny and your sister can give it to somebody. But it's gonna have to start with you first.
Yeah. So you have to be focused. I'm sorry, Mike, but you have to be focused on you. So it's almost being selfish,
Right?
but it's being selfish with a purpose.
I like that.
Yeah, it's being
I
selfish
like
with a
hearing
purpose.
it,
Right.
but I can't do it.
Okay.
Work on it.
But
Keep it real.
wait a minute.
Work on it.
Okay. We hear you. You can't do it. Okay. And that's why we're having this conversation, because I think this is one of the biggest flaws with our young black men is when they say the word "I can't." We got to kill that word out of vocabulary. God has gifted us with everything within human mankind, that how He created us. We can do anything we put our minds to. Now we just got to go find resources, and we got to go find platforms that will help us get there. And David, you and I, you're one of them first. We've been there long enough, and I've seen you overcome. I know your story. I know your journey, and for you to sit and say you can't do something, I'm calling bullshit.
Damn.
Okay, because
Yeah,
you can.
I'm right with you.
Yeah.
I've seen you. I've
Yeah.
seen where you've been, and I've seen where you're at. Okay.
It's a
Right?
challenge.
So okay.
I won't
okay,
say I can't, but it's
so
a
we'll get there.
challenge.
So we'll get there. All right, guys. So like,
Could you ask the original question again?
Why, what's
What do you struggle with?
what are you
What are you
stressing?
struggling? What are you stressing
What
about?
stresses you out on a daily basis about where you're going to go?
Not a lot of people know that I'm one of the only boys in my family to ever go to college. And so, me being the paramount and seeing a lot of my cousins and a lot of, my older cousins and, stepbrothers and, really F up. It's really hard to put myself in a perspective to where, like, I'm the last grandchild at 22 of my generation, so like there is no not succeeding for me. Like there's no not I have to make it. I'm my mom's only kid. Like my mom, after my grandmother passed, became the matriarch of the family, and I know that, God forbid along the line, my mom is gonna pass away and that's gonna fall onto me. Mm-hmm. So, I'm in dental school right now, I'm making it. I had one slip up where I wasn't able to finish at PV because of, certain circumstances, but it was just like, it's really embedded in my mind that there is no quit for me. Like, I have to make it. And, you know, waking up every day, it's hard. It's hard. You know, there's been times where, you know, I wanted to quit. There's been times where I've wanted to, you know, give up and just say, you know, F it. You know, I go do what my cousins do, and, you know, they done been locked up and, you know, XYZ. I'm the only one that ain't got no kids. I ain't been locked up. I ain't never been in no trouble, you know, but like I was telling Mr. Marlon when I first got here, there's this anger I can't get outside of my body. It's like every day I wake up, I'm competing. I have a competitive complex. Every day, every time I see another man, I'm competing. No matter whether you're my friend, no matter whether my family, I want to be better than everybody else to show that, you know, I can do it. Because
do you
my
bowl?
whole,
Do you bowl?
Bowl?
Do you bowl?
No.
Have you ever bowled?
I bowled before.
Now, this is the thing. Have you ever taken your ball and rolled him up over there in that aisle to knock the pins down?
No.
Where are your pins at? Right in front of you. This is your pocket. This is your lane. The moment you realize in your mind, because you have it, just listening to you say all of the things that you're accomplishing from the ones around you, you have it, but you need to stay in your lane. The moment that you take your ball and roll it down to those pins, you'll have it. Stop focusing on the cat to your left and your right. Synchronized swimmers don't look to the left or the right, bro. The moment they take their eyes off that water, they either drown or they're going to get left behind. So your thing is to stay focused and stay in your lane, bro.
And I caveat that, and I'll paraphrase it a little differently and say, in the Bible talks about, they use the word contentment.
Speak up, Mr. Marlon.
Contentment. You know what that means? To be content.
Yes.
Okay, biblically. Just to be content with all the gifts God has given you and abilities and where you're at. Because until you learn how to be content with where you're at and what God has given you, He can't bless you to go any further. He will, and back to your question about how you deal with sort of conflict. By design, conflict will always be a part of our lives. That's God's design. And the reason we have conflict in our life is that is what makes us draw unto Him, right? In the perfect world, you got all the money, your health, no concerns, your family is good, your education, your career, you got nothing to worry about. Okay? So why would you go to God? But God bends us at the knee. Okay? Because that, when you bend at the knee, that makes you drop your head. Okay? And there have been those that say, I'm not a believer, until they're facing death. And they become holy roadies. Okay? You will always have conflict in your life. It's God's design. And what you got to do is, what it's designed to do is to make you go bend the knee and go sit in a room somewhere, turn off the light, light a candle, pick you a spiritual song, meditate, and connect with that man upstairs and say, God, what are you trying to tell me? What are you trying to show me?
Right.
Okay? Right? Because you're not going to solve your problems worthily.
By yourself.
All you're going to do is find more problems. You got to get vertical. The Creator. Okay?
I'm gonna double down on the bowling analogy. You have a better chance of knocking your pins down straight away than you do knocking pins down 3 lanes down. Because you got to jump over. Understand this now. If you're trying to knock the pins down in 3 or 4 lanes down, you got to jump over 4 lanes.
Right.
8 what they call gutters. 8 gutters, 4 lanes, and hope that the ball does something slick to go down to the pins. Do you understand that?
And that's so far-fetched, though.
That's so far-fetched.
That's not even realistic.
That's not even realistic.
You hit the gutter ball the second when you roll over.
So I use that because if you're in your lane and you're doing what's in your lane, what's going on down there don't even matter.
Right.
You know,
because it's hard. Listen to me. It's hard. The hardest thing you can do is be in competition with somebody you don't know.
Man.
You can't. The hardest thing you can do is be in competition with somebody you don't know. You don't know me,
15 minutes.
but you wait. And so I'm using me Because to go along with what you said, you wake up and as soon as you see a man, you want to be in competition with him. It's impossible for you to be in competition with him. You understand that? I know where you're from. So and the reason I'm gonna probably be harder on you than anybody in because I know where you're from. But it's out of love. It's out of love.
Right.
Because you ain't the only one. You ain't the only one, bro. You ain't the only one that had to give up things that you love. Everybody in here that gave up something that they love or lost it. And see, it's harder to lose it than it is to give it up, because giving it up, you can kind of sometimes say he walked away, which makes you a quitter. But losing it means you got hurt or some other circumstances happen. So it's a difference. You have to deal with that in yourself. But you are it's impossible for you to be in competition with us. I got 40 years on you. He got 40 years. I mean, we got time on you. So why be in competition with somebody you don't know? Why try to bowl in a lane that don't belong to you?
It'd be kind of hard for me because in my family, there's only one cousin I have that's like, they hold him to this super high regard because he's basically like a child genius. He graduated high school early, and he's only a couple years older than me now. He's a professor at Purdue. So it's like every other cousin I have has been, you know, a total F up. They do XYZ, sell drugs, do XYZ.
Well, that's leverage.
And I'm the next one in line.
But that's the guy you can call him.
That's leverage.
He don't never answer the phone. I don't even get a chance to talk to my family because they're so distant and XYZ. Like, I don't have any older siblings. All I have is, you know, female stepsisters, my only biological sister who I barely get a chance to talk to, and the only time I talk to her, I'm giving her advice like I'm the older brother. So it's kind of like I don't have anybody to talk to.
Hold on to the men around you.
Right. Man,
grab a hold on to the men that are around you. Not the ones that are doing the opposite of what you want to do. Surround yourself with people that want to be the opposite of those people.
Exactly.
And hold on tight like it's a roller coaster. Put that harness on and lock yourself in that thing, and I'm going this way with these people.
Come on,
you gotta have this.
Because we're short on time. We're gonna go.
Come on, we're
gonna summarize it, and then we're gonna
go a little extra. We're gonna go a little extra on it because this one is a good
one.
I'm skipping Rashad. We just had father and son combo.
We can do it. And what I'm thinking, I'm gonna tell you, we can, you know,
2 parts,
and then we can. This is not.
There's so much ground to cover.
Yeah.
I mean, and I would hope you guys are available to like keep extending this, because you cannot cover this topic in a month, not even a year.
Right.
Okay. And so we'll talk about this podcast like, you know, a part 2 and a part 3, and we'll switch it up and whatever, and you know, you know what? And next time we do it, I'll even feed you. We'll bring some pizza in, some hot dogs.
Yeah,
I'll do more of that. But yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay. So how much time we got on?
Let's go another 15 minutes.
All right, Lee.
That's it?
Yeah.
No, hang on a minute. Oh man, I ain't. You may have heard it. I ain't heard it. I did. Give me 3 minutes, bro. Like.
What was the question?
What are you stressing about?
What are you stressing?
What are you stressing about?
3 minutes.
I'm gonna be honest. And I ain't trying to say like life perfect, because nobody's is, but I don't have no stresses.
Okay.
You know, I wake up every morning blessed. I got a great paying job. The first was like 3 days ago. I paid my rent with no worries. Like my lights is on. Got food in my refrigerator.
Well,
I think I'm
true definition of contentment. That's contentment. Okay, that is you being in your place and good with what God has given you, and you measuring, okay, what God has given you. Okay, and not saying this ain't enough. I'm looking at XYZ and I want to be here and I'm not. That is a true form of your content. And then God says, now that you appreciate where you are, I will give you more, because you're doing what you're supposed to do. So I like that. Okay.
For me, going off what he said, right now I'm at a point where I'm finally doing good in life, and just at a point where I don't have to wait for something to happen. But
congratulations to both of y'all.
Growing up in high school, that's where I'd say it was the hardest point in my life, because growing up with my dad, I saw the hardship he went through, and whenever it got to a point in the beginning of freshman year, it just intensified, because the same siblings that he grew up with and he helped take care of, they just turned it back on him, and then I'm seeing all these people that I've grown up with turn back on the one person that's been there for me. So it put me at a position where I couldn't really just be mad at everybody, because it didn't solve anything. So then that's really where I found God, because going back to what you said, going in that corner and then bending the knee, that's where I'm in my room, I'm just like, there's nothing else is working, so.
Hey, you gotta turn it over, man.
And that's when I saw him, like, the prayers I'm saying in my room, they're coming to life. Like, high school, I didn't have a car until Christmas senior year. The whole junior, senior year, it got to a point I didn't even care what I got. I was just, a car's a car.
Give me some wheels.
That's what I'm saying. And then when it got to the point where I just accepted it, like, time's gonna do his thing. My sister, by the grace of God, blessed me with a nice car, with a Mercedes. And ever since then, it's just, I'm at a point where I just can't complain. Like, there's people going through worse things in life. I've been through worse things in life, so if I can come to this point where I'm still alive, still have good people, meeting good people around me,
that's good.
There's nothing.
That's good. And you said something interesting, and this would be another topic, whether it's part 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to talk about not all things that we get or rewarded with are really blessings from God. Because Satan also gives us gifts, and he disguises them as gifts from God, because he wants to distract you from focusing on God. So we're going to talk about that. Okay? I got that's in the part 1, 2, part 3.
Different conversation.
That's a different conversation today. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
Let's get it done.
Hey, that's crazy.
Okay, what you got, my man?
I'm young. I don't be stressing. I'm gonna just keep it real.
Okay.
I don't be
You good?
stressing.
No stress? Everything? Okay.
I applaud you for keeping it buck.
Okay, man.
At a good point in life.
That's
All
right.
right, man. I appreciate that. Okay. All right, and now you gonna make me hone in on you more than anything, but okay. All right, my man. What you got?
I'm be honest, I don't really stress either, but I'm blank.
Okay.
I don't really stress either. For real, you know. It's certain things I have to like. You know, I gotta be structured. Like, I have to be leaving people behind. Some people trying to drown me, I have to leave them.
Okay.
Right there's just how
That's
I gotta
huge.
be.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's the first step, man.
I could.
Boat anchors,
people
cut
have been
loose.
doing for years.
Yeah. Had to cut them jumpers loose,
Okay.
bro.
Okay. Awesome. Guys, listen, I appreciate y'all. And I'm gonna kind of do a little quick summary, and then I'll let man hit chime in. And I love that last question about the stress. And I think while I appreciate y'all transparency and honesty, that from my perspective, there's a lot that you guys really have to know and do a deeper dive about yourself. Because I can give you some issues that you are struggling with, that you're not sharing, that you're not transparent about. Okay? Pornography, relationships, financials, knowing what your future looks like. Okay? Now y'all can sit here and say I have no stresses. Well, you stressing. Okay? Because if you are doing things, okay, and let me back up. Biblically it says everything in the dark comes to light. You will reap what you sow. Okay? Right? And we can sit here in front of the camera and say, "Oh, I'm good. I have no stresses and this and that." And that. Now you don't want to be on a podcast and just like spill your guts. Okay, I get that, right? And that's why we go on camera and we share things. But we all have stresses. We all have struggles. We all have temptations. Temptations. Everybody has them. Even the highest priests of all gods have temptations. There ain't but one man walked the circuit. They have one temptation. Remember God said, they said, when Jesus Christ, he died on the cross, he rose on the third day, and ascended to heaven, and he good. That's it. And for any other man that sits on this planet and say, I got no stress, I got no worries, I'm good, we need to talk. Because you do. I do. Okay? I know my issues. I know my temptations. I know my stresses. I know what I'm struggling with. But then I also know how to position myself through meditation, through scripture, through music. Like I challenge like some of you, like some of the guys in my small group. Like, show me your playlist.
No.
Okay.
No.
None of them have a gospel on. And I try, go for one song on there that's biblical, that just something you can go to that just, and watch how it just changes your mindset. Okay? It garbage in, garbage out. If you wake up every morning banging that, like you pulled up.
I know y'all heard it.
Okay, you banging that.
I did on accident.
I know.
I should have turned it down.
But I promise you, right now, we're gonna put everybody in my car. I crank it up, and it automatically connect, and I guarantee what's gonna come on. It's gospel music. Now this is not me bragging or whatnot, but it takes time because I'm 58 years old. But when I was your age, bro, I was Run DMC, Tupac, Biggie. I was all that. I was doing all that. Okay. Now y'all don't know those.
Y'all don't know those.
Those were the real rappers. Yeah. That's another conversation. It's music. Okay.
Please,
we
play it.
Okay. Yeah. But all I'm saying, guys, is contentment. Okay. Being honest with ourselves that we do have struggles. Being honest with ourselves, know that there's conflict is inevitable, just like death is, just like taxes. It's inevitable. What we have to learn how to do is how do we prepare ourselves for it? How do we identify it and then embrace ourselves? Okay. Now, I'm gonna put you guys on the spot. I wasn't gonna say that. I'm just gonna watch and see, but I'm gonna go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. If 6 of y'all don't leave here tonight and don't exchange numbers, y'all have demonstrated the fallacy that we have in brotherhood. Okay, we're sitting here on the podcast talking openly, and at the end of the day, if I was in y'all's shoes, I'd be like, man, what's your name? And somebody should take the lead and create like a group chat.
A group chat.
Okay? And y'all just go,
check on each other.
Yeah, it's called brotherhood, bro. Right? Right? Because his struggle might be something that you went through and you can help him.
What do y'all call it? Lock in.
Yeah, lock it in. Lock it in. Lock it in. Okay?
For real.
Cut all the selfish BS and it's all about me, peacocking and throwing shade. Cut it all out, man. Lift each other out, man.
Hey,
Right? That's
just
my
a quick shot so my man Moses will hear me. I got you. So just be ready when I call you. I know you will. But on the closing note, I wanna touch on something real quick. Women.
Yeah, let's get it.
Women, and I know you was gonna touch on it too, but women, you, why do you need a woman right now?
I don't need no woman.
You just want one.
Yeah, because the past relationship I was in, shit, I ain't gonna fake.
But that mean that
I do want a companionship, but like I didn't realize.
You dive in this one right now?
No, we're not gonna go too deep. I just want you to understand.
I just say me personally. I didn't realize I don't need a female for real. But like the last 2 months, I felt like shit. I needed another girlfriend. Now and today, I realize, you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to have everything to myself. I'm trying to learn myself. I'm trying to figure out who I am and where I want to be. So a woman will distract me from my focus on my everyday life. You know, it'll waste my time. I might say it don't, but it really will waste my time. We're dealing with women on a daily basis. So I need to figure out who I am and what morals I stand on first before I interact with women. It's still hard, you know what I'm saying? I got something the other day, but I still walked away from that.
You got some
like,
what?
I
got some Gucci, like, you know. but let me tell you something.
I'm just saying, clarify. When you said I got some,
while we joking and laughing, like on a serious note, like it made me realize, like it don't mean as much as you thought it meant. You know, it's just a fun time. It's just pleasure. That's all it is. It's not paying your bills. It ain't doing nothing. What you doing for you, twin?
You know, as of lately, you know, just turning 21, I really wanted to like speak on young age. You know, I grew up with a single mom, so like, you know, women, you know, I always put them up here. You know, that was my thing. You know, always be a gentleman and XYZ, and then growing up in the generation that, you know, we grew up in. It's like, you know, the women act totally different from what I'm used to with my mom and my sisters and the way that they act. So it's like, every time that I put myself in a position to be a good dude, it never worked out. So like now, when I try to give women time, or it just in my heart, I know in my heart that I'm not mentally there, because I don't know how to trust you, because the only person who's ever truly been there for me is my mom. And the women in our generation act nothing like how, you know, my mom and all of them act. And, you know, a lot of women in our generation will call it being a mama's boy, but it's kind of hard for me to grasp the idea of trusting a woman in my generation. So it's kind of, you know, messed up in a sense, but it's kind of hard, you know.
We're going to talk that because...
Whoa, you gay for anything you do now.
Because I'm going to give you a sneak peek of next session.
I hang out with the guys. Right now, I'm gay right now.
Relationships and community. And the topics would be fatherhoods, lessons passed down, or lessons missed. It would be the role of the black church, okay, and where are our young men, who are men, period, in church, okay? Because when we go to church today, we look across, 75-80% of the congregation are females, right? Right, and that's not biblically aligned, right? Because if you look at the pecking order, it's God, Christ, the church, the man, the woman, the kids, and so on, right? And when that order of chain is broken, and God is frowned upon, right? The man should be going to church, and the women actually be staying at home, and the man come home and pour into the family. Okay, that's traditional, right? So that's an issue. The other topic would be friendship and brotherhood. Okay, how black male bonds and maintain, which is what I talked about. If y'all six don't sit around and bond and connect and change and email, get to know each other and help each other with y'all strengths and y'all weaknesses, and how do you stay in your swim lane and be that sounding voice. The biggest issues with black men is that we don't know where to go to get advice, good advice. Okay, and you two have heard it the most because you've been in my group a lot.
I see where it comes
Yeah, exactly. So here's the worst person you go to for advice: your best friend,
Your friends,
your family members.
They're biased.
The bias. Okay, right? You got to find somebody that you can connect with, that will hold you accountable. Okay, and they have to have wisdom. And we'll talk about what wisdom. You guys heard a sneak peek of wisdom now. We'll talk about that later. And the fourth one is, we touched on a little bit, the dating norms. Is the Gen Z really that different from Gen X? On how we date?
Totally.
Are the women really that different? And
Totally different.
Y'all already touched on it, okay? So
I
that's
think
a sneak peek at part
1, 2,
2.
3, 4, 5, 6 can account.
Hey, this is y'all's homework assignment. If y'all
I wish
just
I had y'all
mentally-
generation.
If y'all mentally didn't just take that in, go back and watch the end of this. I need that homework.
Yeah.
Those bullet points is y'all's assignment. So
Right.
we had this show again. Nobody needs to be stuttering over their words. Come with it.
Got you.
2 weeks. 2 weeks, part 2.
Part 2.
2 weeks, part 2. Y'all join us next week. We got another topic for y'all next week, but in 2 weeks we're gonna do part 2 of the same conversation. I'm the barber,
And I'm the artist.
and thank y'all fellas for coming. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks.
Absolutely. Peace.
Wait. What's going on here? Is this the barbershop? Is this the barbershop? Yes, the shop. This is the barbershop. Yeah. This ain't nothing but healthy conversation. It ain't nobody. Healthy conversation. It ain't nobody in there. It ain't nobody in there. Healthy conversation. It ain't nobody in there. This ain't nothing but it. This ain't nothing but it. This ain't nothing but it. Healthy conversation. Healthy conversation. It ain't nobody in there. Healthy conversation. Healthy conversation.